Hello, this is one for the pink and purple polka dot people and the Bowie children of South Australia. You can tell a mile off by the bone structure. God bless them, clap hands. And I'm going to read some poetry. It's not very good, but you'll get something out of it, maybe. I just want to speak. I've been speaking all morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, but this is the prime time where I'm the last poets on earth. Jumping up and out from the succotash blues takes a little bit of doing, takes some practice, takes some action, but you move into it, through it, then you leap, and bang! The new energy hits you, stares you wide-eyed in the face, almost makes you panic. You're in love with it. It's healing you. It's your exit pass out of any old masquerade of doom. It's your explosive entry into 2024, suckers. Shy she was and twisted until she heard a little humming in her eardrum. The voice, the first humdrum of some retired old-timer goddess, whispers, yawns, and then screams to curdle blood, as they say, while her own blood boiled and frost and curdled in her veins, yet on the surface still nary a peep. For shy she was and twisted until she heard the goddess humming in her eardrum. Number 3. We skipped 2. Number 3. As an almost sponsored drinker of Cooper's Pale Ale, repping the South, 504, Levy's Broke, Chevy Saw, since the mid-90s and right up to tonight, I always feel the need to kick one for the Irish, kick one goal for the Irish, at least one. This past 12 months, they lost 2 great musical heroes full stop, Sinead O'Connor and Shane McGowan, and what great and awe-inspiring talents those two were. Such a voice, such melodic control, such a mouthful of teeth. One wonders how the Irish will go about filling the gap. But they will, no doubt, they will. There'll be Irish boxers, Irish movie stars. There's still U2, I think, and of course Irish novelists and Irish storytellers and Irish poets. Samuel Beckett, the genius of the 20th century, and James motherfucking Joyce. So allow me to pull out a 6-pack of Cooper's Pale with its great green label in tribute to the Irish, watered by tears shed for their recent dead, tears of bliss at the beauty of their luscious greenest of lands, and tears of simple pleasure and camaraderie for each and all the great best Irish pubs that dot and water the world. Come winter, I'll forgo the Cooper's Pale for one day, and mine will be a pint of Guinness or Kilkenny more like, or both, under the harp and sign of Finn McCall down on the parade. Amen to that. And rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor and Shane McGowan, virtuosos of the voice. Second draft, number 3. It's true I never knew them, but they were both virtuosos of the Irish voice, masters of melodic control, and what a mouthful of teeth, and what a crazy bald head, as they'd say. It's true, I never knew them, but their music accompanied my most emotional moments, so I guess it's a one-way trauma bond in both cases. They both helped me feel so deeply, if not as deeply as they do, then nearly. Relationships, love, my hometown, the streets, the grit and grime of life, so I salute them both. Sinead and Shane, Irish heroes both, of music or any other method of cutting through all the other crap. A pint of Guinness and one of Kilkenny, cream. But Prince, Minneapolis, down at Finn McCall's, in tribute to them both. Rest in peace. Number 4. Choke tackle Sunday, happy Monday, resentment building like blood pressure, things heating up. Lovey-dovey New Year's, viral scam 4, when the screams come up. And I consider walking home while she's got my car casting off. I think it says casting off. She's on edge, doing too much at once. I'm boring and fat, brain fog from too much over-medication. So I continue to submit instead of quit. She continues the one-sided fight, insists she's right. Can I really make this my year? Do things on my terms? Live my own life for a change instead of hers? I'd have to, or die trying, die hard trying. This is the end, beautiful friend, the end, and I must force myself to keep it up. Every when, number 5, every when. I love you. The tone offends, but mocks not. The traveller pauses an instant, looks up from his newspaper, grins like a fool. Upshot is, this is a form of cancer. It also bleeds and binds. Mock not the weary traveller, or you'll pay a fool's ransom, else there'll be murder somewhere unknown as yet. By whom, of whom, a trickle of doubt cast dribbles into the emblazoned air. Number 6. Hassle the shallows, torment the unsinkable, sink your teeth into a graveyard of bones, downplay the tormentor, shadow the blue rioter, across paths with the gammon, rolling on home. Weary your bystanders, exhaust your supports, tread heavy before adopting the lightest of footfall touches. Blood from stone, you'll pull it or perish, an odd transfusion necessary and warm to the liquid touch. Oh, that was a bit too much. Number 7, rhythm song. I'm not going to sing it. True men, true you. First one, couplet. In the light burning bright, this is how I keep my fight. Standing strong in my song, this is where I do belong. That's number 2. Number 3, come with me, living free, this is how I want to be. Number 4, all is one like the drum, and that's the way our struggles won. As Vodafone said, we go further together. It's not Orange and Senegal. Yes, it is. Chaka doom, 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 chaka. Got that off Mitch Mitchell, a great man, jazz drummer, bummer. Reel off the labels, peel off the labels. Not only, this is number 8, peel off the labels. Not only am I Jewish, but I'm a she-man. As Muddy Waters sings, I'll rhyme inside. I'm a man, to be spelled M-H-I-N. To the screaming response of all the 18 to something bit lesbians. And I'm also sort of and to top it all off, and perhaps not surprisingly, I have serious, long-standing mental health issues. But so what? So what? When I was 14, I used to say labels are things you peel off the apple before you eat it. Schnapple in the Apple was a good song. And needless to say, I was already speaking metaphorically, as was written. So fuck biblical family values. It takes a tribe to raise a child, and while we're 13, smash the state. Grassroots land rights for all. And a collective each and all treaty for First Nations people globally across the planet Earth, and land rights also for suicidal alien gay whales like me. Peace and love out. And number 9, this is called I'd Weep for Gaza too, but I haven't got time to be blue. Hi, I'm Jewish. Watch out, you might have to kill me. Though I'm just like you, I too believe in land rights, human rights to land and life and livelihood. But don't be racist. I'm Jewish Australian, not an Israeli, and definitely not a follower of the crazy warmongering Netanyahu, who opposed the pro-Palestine, pro-peace PM, Yitzhak Rabin, who in turn was tragically assassinated back in 1995, good year, by a follower of Netanyahu's hard-right fanatics. Assassinated just like John fucking Lennon, who also wanted to give peace a chance. When will this crazy world heed his lessons? When it's bombs and hard shocks, tanks against rockets and rocks, and those lucky to live have to flee, and they close off the borders, bomb a refugee camp and kill men, women and children with glee, then my heart fills with shame to put G to my name when it's shared with such evil that could. Ceasefire now is my cry before they start World War IV. Just stop, just fucking put an end to this madness, as Netanyahu's gross overreaction. Anyway, not all Jews are Israelis, just as not all Israelis are Jews. There's people of all nationalities there. So don't pour your hatred on me, because I weep for Gaza too. Here's some pros. I felt more at home when I was homeless in the CBD, in the shelter, or in the NDIS paid-for hotel in Flinders Street, Franklin Street, goes all the way around the world, or in the United Communities apartments, also on Flinders Street City, Franklin Street, goes all around the world, where I'd push against the concrete pavement squares on Shank's pony, walking again great distances to buy cigarettes or the alternative, nicotine lozenges, nick away, or a snack or lunch or coffee at something mates, where I'd meet a friend or stop off for a drink with the shelter women. With them, it was as if we'd all known each other forever. And Whitmore Square, near the shelter in the city's inner south, not to mention Hutt Street back in the day, hosted an array of community activities like free Baptist care, breakfast of egg, sausage and bacon on bread, lunch of burger or sausage sizzle, no vegetarians there, community supports. Oh my God, don't mention the footballers. The local Nungas sitting in the park were always cruelly rounded up by the police every day. Sarah Mansour, my Australia is. Next one's called Homeland. I come from my mother's womb and my father's sweet, corrupt spirit. Murray Bridge, over the road from the river. The road to Pinaroo and Lamaroo, Australia. Best musicians on the planet. The smell of Nan's clothes and of her skin when she hugged me and her butterfly kisses. Flash her eyebrows on the skin. Aldinga Beach, where my grandparents lived and where my uncle's family had a beach house back in the 70s and early 80s, Rodney Hall, when they were cheap. The homeland of my ancestors, Jerusalem, the old city, Jerusalem, King David's citadel in that Armenian quarter, and the Armenians never were overly careful about what they put into their soup. Polish oboe, Swedish chef, and kids playing marbles, and a young French family were next to us. Young, sweaty, thin, red-haired rabbi asking me questions in the progressive synagogue of the Jewish quarter in Jerusalem's old city. He said, "Do you believe in God?" My mother said yes. And I went there with my mother, and they were teaching a group of women Hebrew English with the news. And Jaffa Gate had been closed because they hijacked a bus. He said, "What is the purpose of this planet?" I said, "To unfold." And he said, "And what about where it's written in the Bible, and you shall wear a sign around your wrist and between your eyes?" And they put leather prayers there wrapped in leather, wrapped around the arm in leather strap, and prayers in them, and the wrist, and between the eyes, and between the knees and all that, nodding, and all that, dovening, and fucking, anyway, pardon my French, dovening, and, God. I said, it's time, it means time. You'll wear a sign around your wrist and you'll have it between your eyes as a sign, and it's the time. And we're 12, 15 at the moment. So anyway, it was 94 when I went there with my mother. I was 19. They hijacked the bus and Jaffa Gate was closed. We had to go through the other one, Damascus. That's right. I went to Tel Aviv and Haifa. Went to Tel Aviv and Jericho. Hebron? Can't remember. Let's see. The kids playing marbles and young, sweaty, red-haired rabbi asked me questions in the progressive synagogue of the Jewish quarter in Jerusalem's old city. And the old Hasids would go, "Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov." Conveniently forgetting Sarah, Rachel and Leah. Never seen her. Anyway, Rebecca, you can't forget Rebecca, the ginger ninja. Anyway, the jabs and punches my two older brothers were always hitting me of. The Chinese burn I got from my brother as soon as I came home from the hospital after being born. I can see as if I'm standing on the opposite side of the room. Sand dunes by the river at Murray Bridge in the 70s, rolling down them in a big tractor tire with my brothers from the cliff top at the Gazons to the bottom near the river water. Relax with Max. Camping at the Coorong with 5 families in a big purple bus. 3 things I've lost. We go way back. Play, person, concept, a feeling. My right mind, energy and confidence. A long-term home, stable, Mabel. The southern hippie friends, my drumming friends, my theatre friends from 91, the original poets of 91. 3 things I've found. Some of them died. 3 things I've found. What's that word? Oh, God. Sanity, jeunesse, by arts socially. A new home in the burbs, a permanent unit, a reason to get up in the morning, manipulation and guilt tripping from my closest family members and friends. In my language I speak myself out was to create my world with a shamanic magic of words. Morning and night, off prime time. There is silence in every evil force attempting to swallow us me whole. Also silence between the notes of death. Also there is silence in death. Also silence between the notes of the music, as Miles Davis emphasised. And I heard him before my brother got onto him, and same with some run on that comedy. Fucking stole the sources and the Yamaha keyboard, and that's not really violed and voleur, putain. Anyway, also there is silence in death. In this poem, you are not me. Your feelings swell to bursting point. The shape of my sorrow is a woolly mammoth, happily extinct. What does hypertactical mean? Open. The next poem's called No, Serena. No, Serena, we will not all end up in the same bed together in a meth-fueled orgy at the end of the night, taking up my precious soul's time. In fact, it's a big no to the whole relationship from here on out. No to the drugs, the men, no to the constant put-downs, the late. No to the constant do this, do that, get me this, find me that. No to the manipulation, no to the beatings and bashings, no to your constant using and abusing. And it's a big yes to my soul, my spirit, myself, my true self. It's a big yes to saving me. This next one is called The Past is Bleeding. I'm on estrogen and progesterone. The past is bleeding and still I find myself jittery, too eager to constantly move, talk, smile, laugh, too eager to get on with doing something important, feeling something different in this caffeinated, nicotine-abated, tech-crazed, 24/7 distracted, jitterbug world. But still the past is bleeding and it seems like no one can staunch the wound. I've lost the ability to shed tears for this mad, souped-up succotash blues. My last tears were for you. It used to be us against the world and that I could handle. It seemed like our love would win. But now it's just me alone and tightened, frightened with the whole earth's blues seeping in. I've lost my skin. I'm a bundle of nerves and viscera, muscle and fat, blood and bone, internal organs that work harder than I do just trying to make it through the day. Yet like Antonin Artaud said, I am a body without organs. I'm organic. I am whole, a holy whole. What? I think I just fell right down into myself from looking too hard. Is that really all I know? But there must be a way out. Could I ever know peace, be grounded and secure on my own 2 feet? I declare today Independence Day and sing the borderers in my sleep. I detach from the outcome. I am the calm in the storm. I am cool, calm and collected. I better turn the aircon on. Breeze blowing in the wind. This one goes out to the Queen of Sass. Yours is the storm that follows, yours the rain, the wind, the suckling mud, entrenched yet sudden, bittersweet fogs, cantankerous frogs, scurrying possums up before the magpies come out in full warble, semantics only or a full-fledged urban forest. I acclimatise myself to your garden, Serena, as the deep creek wanders and wonders, shines the whole length and medley of its long way home. I'm not going to read the next poem, but I need to remember it for later, so I will. Crash, sweet crash, after the very bad poets, the terrible poets, the evil poets. Evel Knievel was a poet, a very nice man too. This troubling anathema in the Riverland in the 70s, this troubling anathema to my soul, this vortex, this crash call, close call, set up from way back, me the survivor with cuts to my head and glass through my hair, chalk it up to a bad asexual experience, while the crash is, in the sex life of cars, a destructive climax. I wish she could sleep on her side. I wish she could sleep on her back. I wish she could sleep. I wish she could sleep. Anyway, this one goes out to Dr. Cornel Westy. Like Ovid sang creation and recreation's cues, and Leadbelly and Mahalia sang earth and godly blues, so now we sing out loud to us and those that listen in, curious to discover what our words might bring. Shocks new, or at least only in disguise, the veiled hammer breaking tundra ice to save the submerged near frozen child, and now you emerge naked from a forest of ambiguities into the crystalline clear light of morning sun's glare. Outlined holographically in each and every eyeball, you succour us with the beauty of you and your warm words. Content shapes form, moulds it to its rhythm, its beat, its desire, and suddenly one is for all and all is for one. Together we all come undone. This one's called Old Shit, New Shit, Red Shit, Blue Shit. My old poems are all shit. That's because they come from earthy, central, demonically possessed intellect. They are not the wisdom that descends from above. Turns out as a teenager I was channeling demons, fleshly lusts, lies and excessive paper-thin words, morbidity to an extreme. Get thee behind me, Satan. So now my new shit from this point on will be, quote, pure, peaceable, gentle, reasonable, with zero partiality and zero hypocrisy. Quote, good seed sown in peace, presented through the fruit of righteousness to them that make peace. Now, if you know your Bible, Gideon's back to front 3 times, backwards and forwards in the index and front to back. Now you know your Bible, know Kaplan's Hebrew English. Hebrew English that they stole from me because it was illustrated and it had a purple and teal cover, turquoise, leaves. Anyway, I had Kaplan, 50 books in his 30 years of life. My God, I'm a footnote. Anyway, now if you know your Bible, you'll know that comes from the book of James in the New Testament, that about peace and righteousness. James, the name of my rapist, incestuous older brother, so that motherfucker can safely die before his time, surely. Turns out the old shit has a habit of creeping back up on me, but at least I'm being honest. As for the rest of my demons, I'm here to crack the whip, lash them into godly shape, shame them, purify them, sanctify them, before turning them into more rogue words, sprawling across this page, before God herself puts her boot into them, so they can be more or less safely spat out into fresh air to reach your hopefully kind ears. So for all of your past, present and future tolerance of anyone and or all of my old shit, new shit, red shit, blue shit, I humbly thank you. Some children, this poem's called. Some children soften into deep Buddha beings of the netherworlds, untold until embraced by young and old like a picture book story before bedtime or a newspaper headline like 12-year-old boy carries gun into your local shopping centre. Better run, he's after a little more than candy. He has a sweet tooth for hard violence now, imported from American hip-hop to your local shop counter. Better run because daddy's home. Boy appeared on the 6 o'clock news, no time to try new parenting methods on the fly. He maybe cops a beating, he maybe starts to cry. It sounded old when they sing it to a beat. It sounded okay when they sing it to a beat in the song. Now tell me why I'm wrong. We choose where our love will come from. We chase up, we all choose our aim and where and when to fire. For Serena Lee. It's for real this time. Integrating fresh lightning, integrating thunder, thick being clouds, integrating rain showers, integrating even hailstones, being pelted with them. It was like integrating you, my dearest love. We were one music in the people, one heart for listen and for eye, for smell, taste, touch. You were my perfect storm, time and true and served. You ripped the gun out of my house of self. You smashed windows, blew the roof off, shook up everything that wasn't already nailed down. You rearranged me, betrayed me. You ripped me apart at the seams like I was your antique doll. Now I have to stitch myself back together, bit by bit, piece by piece, without you. The next one's called Serendipitous Findings. Serendipitous findings, piecemeal junk sculpture. I collect and collate words from every direction, happenstance gatherings, unscripted blatherings, juice from electric nights, retold in new light. Full on art on full after on, all the way from Para Hills to Blackwood, fucking halfway up the Koala Deer Crossing Road. Anyway, this next one's called The Giant Fishbowl. I invite you to think for a moment that we're all living in a giant fishbowl. We have our families, friends, and we're being fed. They're only just keeping us starving, paying for goddamn Ramadan sundown to sun-up meals, Zinger Crunch 2-in-1 wrapped up, and 2 large fries for Ferdy next door last night out of my pocket. And he wanted carrot juice in the morning for liquid bloody Ramadan. We have our families, friends, and we are being fed. There are plants, and we are grateful for all of that. But from an outside force, the whole giant fishbowl is being shaken. Water is being thrown around everywhere. How do you think each fish is going to react? The shaking is not the fish's fault, though each fish is responsible for how they respond to it. But no single fish could add to the shaking or make it worse in any way. By, for example, talking about it to the other fish, if fish could talk, which they probably can in their own way. Ah, Goldie, what a fish. And as for all of us, nobody is talking about the violent external shaking of our giant fishbowl energetically for fear of being branded negative, energetically speaking, or weird. But what kind of behaviour would you expect of a fish when the whole bowl is being shaken? It would be abnormal if something wasn't wrong. And things have gone wrong, and they're still going wrong. Wronger and wronger. Many people's dogs, to take just one example, are feeling traumatised lately. Cats are biding their time. 75% of gay people in Australia suffer from mental illness, while it's 40% for the general population. And the fish are frantically swimming around in little circles, desperately trying to figure out which way is up. We are all in the giant fish bowl. The whole quantum soup is in the fish bowl, and we're all feeling it. So we're not that crazy. We're not that alone. It's all just because our giant fish bowl is still being violently shaken. So it's quite okay to not feel okay. Let's stop pretending otherwise. This next one's called something. Cops and Ambos, I think. Was it Cops and Ambos? Yeah. Time was, a heart fully open could cause ambulances to gather. Sirens blaring, lights flashing. The trauma of it shied me away from a repeat performance. My heart stays glued shut, except on the rarest of occasions. 7 tried to open the lock and failed. It was you, the 8th, who brought it asunder, who broke it asunder, clambered away and sat down for tea and biscuits on a warm Sunday afternoon, until we both got bored with that and started vying for first place to have the heart attack, the mood swings, the music, the manic, the suicidal depression that sadly lead-footedly followed. Give me tea and biscuits any day instead. I'm rocking the intensive care unit, drip-fed this love to a cannula, feeling the needles pinch with every move of my sorry hand. Numb incarceration to follow. And what comes next is called Standing Raw Line Soup Bone. Standing raw line soup bone with bated breath, I await the coming of a dark marauder. Since childhood, these intimidation games have held me in a sick thrall. Now these days, sex is nothing to be scared of, or is it? Dark chimes ring out in the spaces in my head, pealing out your arrival near my clenched, fast-beating heart. I want to be close to the earth. I want to be close to the fire. I want to burn to the sky, higher and higher. Why should I be what they want me to be? I don't care if I die, just look up at the sky. Blue, blue. Truckload the limit, pushed out back beyond 50 feet of blue. The plot twisted my arm and I scotch-taped myself back together for an afternoon's blaze in the heights. The country roads that take me home are more like suburban city streets. Ghetto to the left of me, ghetto to the right of me. The dead centre of Mitchell Park, Alawuna Avenue, hasn't changed a bit. But I see my reflection in them, and foot-weary tread on and on. It's only 3 blocks down to the biggest mosque in the world. She collects twigs in... This is for Serena. She collects twigs in the park, so when she sets out water for the birds, the insects may drink without drowning. She talks to the birds and whistles to them. She has a best friend who visits her, a bat friend who visits her, and she's an excellent loving mother to Ziggy Stardust and Hendrix, the puppies, as well as to a few ponded goldfish. She always has her admiring men hovering around her in one way or another. She's sweet and kind, rough and tough, and she's gorgeous enough to stop traffic. She's the love of my life, my 7-year girl. She is the unstoppable, incomparable Serena Ann Lee. This next poem's called No Contact. No contact after violence, and already I'm missing you. After one weekend, tensed up, you've been the highest part of my life, and I don't know how to live without you. You're in your new place now. I haven't seen it yet. Don't know if I ever will. Of course, my own something to stay weary for good, to stay away for good from my violent, that's not true. I was never hit her back. She was violent to me. I never hit her back. I never laid a finger on it. Violent mother patois. Even me, I'm still mostly in something. I don't know how this will end, but I know this separation is for the best. She protected. I don't feel like reading the next one. Reflections on turning 50, and I'm still 50. My mind is simplified. The truths of growth, character, friendship, love, of truth itself, moor me to my stains. Time's tide washes up against my inner rocks, batters down my ego, wears me thin. I elucidate myself without trying. Maturity is hard won, by me at least. It's been a long journey and a wild ride. We've come full circle from the Mesozoic era. I offer you my aging dinosaurs of hope. See, they feed from your hand. Until I pull back my own power, start to sculpt new effigies of my piecemeal former selves. To live is to follow in the footsteps of a dying star. I'm going to read the next one. Next one is a bit of prose. I'm so sick of all the blatant little social engineering games and the bigger ones. Like, do the winners only want to be around the winners, and do they disqualify you from winning if you haven't got the right body, skin colour, friends, clothes, hair colour, pain, what? Hang on. Hair dye, low IQ range, ethnicity, sexual preference, gender category, religion and mental health status, and just as Phil, do you realise 75% of gay Australians have a mental illness instead of 40% in the general population? Yes, it's gone up from 25. Queers are more likely to have been homeless because you kick us out, as well as not understanding or appreciating us. And of course, the much higher rates of suicide among gays. Wouldn't you just love to get us totally out of your picture? Well, I say fuck you, straight Australia, straight world, straight society, heterosexual pig breeders, and familiar luck, what? And yeah, fuck your bullshit conformist family values are grossly overrated. We, the queers, are here to put the, not on stupid fucking floats in the boat, sink in the harbour shit, to put the odour into your picture, general odour, to put the pep into your step, the drive in your hive, and the punk into your smelly ass funk. One nation under a groove stands up. Bullshit crazy fucked up society's funk. So use us or lose us. We might just kick all you boring ass straight breeders off the planet, and apparently we lesbians have already secretly figured out a way to reproduce that doesn't need to involve men. Yes, you heard it right. Spermatozoa ain't the only zoa. Or maybe we'll leave you here on this planet to waste the sad sorry earth overheat, to watch the sad sorry earth overheat and die, while we escape to a pink and rainbow purple polka dot planet, a queer planet, a free and wild and genuine and harmonious and loving planet for all the open-minded peeps among us who, like me, would never do to you what you so stupidly and cruelly do to us. We're just too intelligent, kind and good-hearted for that. Petty evil straight society, social engineering, phone and home hacking bullshit. So watch your step, you straight-assed among you. LGBTQI plus is coming for you, which stands for lovely, gorgeous, beautiful, totally queer, interesting animals, plus to restore liberty, justice, and to open your minds and hearts and free all people from your bullshit shackles of conformity. Former. May your lives break your teeth like one bite into a hard hag's Easter egg. I'm not lying. I'm really not. But here's a poem for now. I'm busted, done and dusted. It's written in blue. All my bridges burned. Charcoal to the ground. The door slams were deafening. I've nowhere to go anymore. I can't see the exit sign out of this mess like greatest something in which we all cease to exist in our own time, on our own path. I'm still following mine. Shall I read this one, the next one, or not? My psychosis is a bitch. A cross between the catty Hollywood con, a graffiti-smeared street preacher with cigarette breath shouting in my brain through a megaphone made of cracked neon. She stalks into my house with muddy boots and a cosmic agenda, turns up the static on the TV, then makes a throne in my ribcage. We know who wrote this, Tracy. She doesn't knock, she arrives, wearing my face but louder, sharper, and always one step too late or too soon to be real. She's not here every day. But when she is, she paints fire alarms on the ceilings and dares me to sleep beneath them. She tells me I'm ancient, sacred, watched and doomed. She opens up my mouth like a puppet show and lets the demons speak through me in riddles while I sip scotch and coke when I'm out and they make me. When I got enough money, so I only took $13 to the bar. Didn't have enough for a book, so I took the next thing. Anyway, water the rest of the night, only one drink. And they're all fucking tanking up on Cooper's Pals. While I sip scotch and coke, smiling politely at someone who doesn't know I'm unravelling at the speed of thought. My psychosis is a bitch. Sometimes she's kind though. She gives me ideas that seem to hum with genius, glows like a prophecy etched into my spine, and I feel holy for a moment. A vessel, a mirror, a flame. But then she bites, and I remember, this is not God, this is a glitch, a hallucination wearing combat boots stomping on my heart. My psychosis is a bitch, but she's mine. And I've learned to dance with her shadow, to name her storms, to let her pass like a feverish dream. I take my meds like I'm taking communion. I breathe like a monk in a thunderstorm. I tattoo mantras on the inside of my skull. This is not truth, this is turbulence. You are not your worst day out loud. The real you is beneath the noise. So when she comes again with her glittering daggers and wild sermons, I'll pour her tea, let her talk, but not online, and wait, because I know she doesn't stay. Not forever. Not anymore. I've got one left. Hang on, there's something at the end. I'm reading this. Great. Can't wait. I have to go back to square one. The drawing board. Draftsmanship. While fit for both weight loss and mental health, apparently there's a cure for schizophrenia and bipolar as well. Keto, smell. I weigh 73 kilos now. A month ago I weighed 63. I've been in hospital twice since then. Been in 3 times in the last 6 months. 4 months. 4 months out of 3 admissions. 4 months out of the last 6 months. And the police broke into my house 3 times in those past 4 months. And they're not liable for the $800 plus damages. Got to get a grant for that. Anyway, I have to completely let Tracy and spoken word scene go. Written word only. Perfecting the written word poem shall be my duty. I will continue to publish books and submit poems for publication. So I need to lose 10 kilos. Do 6 weeks of living in the light, Deepak, deep throat chakra, we call him, and go on wild fit immediately. That's enough for now. I can concentrate on crafting better poetry for me this time. Thank you and good night.